So with another KD Big Three or Super Team failing yet again to meet expectations, I see a lot of people in NBA discourse wondering whether the era of superstars teaming up and forming Big Threes or Super Teams has ended. A lot of people believe that in this era, it is no longer possible to win a championship just by gathering super talented players and putting them together. Now, this is what I would call an organic super team, and it's pretty much when two or more players, whether they're superstar or all-star level players, team up to join another team that already has a superstar or all-star level player on that team. And I'm here to tell you, this idea that these inorganic super teams used to work in the past and no longer do because of the way the league is now or whatever, is not really true. So let me give y'all a brief history lesson. In 1968, Wilt Chamberlain joined the Los Angeles Lakers, which had Elgin Baylor and Jerry West. Now, this is an example of what I would call an organic super team because you only have one player, one high-level player, joining a team that already has two high-level players. And the reason this distinction is important is because for a team to win a championship, you need an identity, a structure, and chemistry. The problem with bringing two high-level players to a team is that because they are such high-level players, they're going to have such an impact and effect on the team culture. And this can be problematic because it can overrule whatever the team's identity was in the first place. It can mess up with the structure and it can mess up with the chemistry. However, when you add just one high-level player to a team that already has two high-level players, then that effect is minimized and the team can keep their culture, identity, structure, and chemistry. Now, let's continue with the history lesson. In the 1980s, you had, of course, the Showtime Lakers, which once again was an organic super team. Kareem joined the team in 1975, while Magic was drafted in 1979, and then the Worthy was drafted in 1982. So there was no situation where there was a high-level player or two high-level players joining a team that already had some. And the same could be said for the 80s Celtics, who drafted Larry Bird and Kevin McHale 2 years apart, and then also got Robert Parrish in between those years before McHale was even drafted. The 86ers are another example, as they got Julius Irving during the merger in 1976, drafted Maurice Cheeks and Andrew Toney in 1978 and 1980 respectively, and then finally got Moses Malone as a free agent in 1982. And lastly, we already know the deal with the 2017 Warriors, as they had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green already on the team, already won a championship, and then you had KD as a free agent in 2016. Now, there's one more case of an organic super team that failed, but it's pretty obvious when you look at the details, and I'm talking about the late 90s Houston Rockets. In 1996, Charles Barkley was traded to the Houston Rockets to join Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler. Now, the Rockets had already won the title in 1995, the Bulls won in 96, and now the Rockets were going to the 97 season with Charles Barkley. And while Barkley, Drexler, and even Olajuwon were pretty much near the end of their prime, I do think they still should have been able to win a championship. Additionally, in 1999, the Rockets also got Scottie Pippen to join Barkley and Olajuwon. Drexler had already retired in 1998, and so the big three was Scottie, Olajuwon, and Barkley. Now here, it makes way more sense why they didn't win, as neither one of them were in their prime. Now, there are other instances of this as well, such as Gary Payton and Karl Malone, who were way out of their prime at the time, joining Kobe and Shaq in 2003. You also have Steve Nash and Dwight Howard joining Kobe and Paul Gasol in 2012. And the last instance of this was when Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony joined LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So I guess the bottom line is don't add two high-level players to a team that already has one or two other high-level players. The only times I can remember this working out is with the 08 Boston Celtics, who added Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen to join Paul Pierce, the 2011 Miami Heat, who added LeBron James and Chris Bosh to join Dwayne Wade, and the 2015 Cavaliers, who added LeBron James and Kevin Love to join Kyrie Irving. Now, congrats to the 08 Boston Celtics for winning the championship. However, they did only win one title when they should have probably won more. Additionally, the Miami Heat only won 2 titles, which is fantastic, but a lot of people thought they were going to be a dynasty. And the Cleveland Cavaliers were only able to win 1 title. So if you're trying to build a dynasty, this is not how you do it. I mean, the Heat and the Cavs had freaking LeBron James and still couldn't do it. Also, one more thing. I understand with teams like the 2021 Nets, technically James Harden did join Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, who were already on the Nets. However, this doesn't really count, as Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving hadn't even played a full season, before James Harden joined. The same could be said for the 2024 Suns, as Bradley Beal technically joined Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, who were already on the Suns. However, once again, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker hadn't even played a full season by the time Bradley Beal joined. So once again, there was hardly even enough time for the team to form an identity, have culture, and build chemistry. So when people talk about how these inorganic super teams with multiple superstars teaming up can no longer be successful, I have to ask, when was it ever really like that?